do here is go back.
And there we go, we're live, hopefully. And hopefully everything's working. Have I dropped any frames? 75 frames. I can live with that. That's happiness. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you're all enjoying your Saturday evening. Clearly you're not, because you're joining us. You sad, sad people. But thank you very much for joining us on this very, very cold Saturday evening here in the United Kingdom. Hopefully it's a little bit warmer where you guys are. Currently at the moment it is in the region of about -2 degrees. And with the wind chill factor, it's about -1,000. It's bloody freezing. It really, really is. We had a little bit of snow today, which is unusual for us here in the West Country, based out of Bristol. Generally, because of Bristol being relatively flat, the snow generally tends to go over to kind of Gloucester or over into the Welsh valleys and kind of, accumulates there. So yeah, it came down and not a lot happened, but the roads are looking pretty dicey out there. So if you are out and about and maybe you're watching this whilst driving somewhere, go careful on the roads out there. It is pretty treacherous. Anyway, that's enough of that. So let's say a quick hello to some of you in the chat, and then we'll get straight into things. So we've got Outlaw Fett, who is first, Paul Bakewell, Atomorex, Ugly Bob also. Ugly Bob, if you don't know, Ugly Bob is the ugliest man alive, so thanks Ugly Bob for taking the crown from me. Do appreciate that. Also, we have got with us this evening Steve Johnson and Harry McFarlane, Steve Ellis. Who else we got? Snakeity Snake, like it, nice name. Yeah, buddy. Says, I had trouble with CEX before as well. Oh, don't get me started. Well, you actually do get me started, because obviously the thumbnail for tonight's stream is all about my experience with CEX. I've not actually bought anything from CEX before, not as a kind of mail order product. I've always gone into the stores, but obviously due to human malware and all those kinds of lockdown things that we have currently going on for the last God knows how many months here in the UK and probably around the rest of the world, mail order is becoming more and more of a necessity rather than a privilege. So yeah, they didn't do well. Spoiler alert, it's ridiculous. And already we got a super chat come in. £5. £5 from Ugly Bob. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. And now I've got to scroll down and find out what he's actually said. So for those of you who are new to the channel, don't know what's going on a Saturday night we do a live stream. It's kind of very informal. I normally mess things up and do things wrong, and I'm generally late, so I actually didn't do too bad tonight. When we get a super chat come in, it sets off the RGB bulb and just basically notifies us. So Kath has to get up off of her backside and turn the lights on, which is great exercise because lockdown, it's very difficult to get out. So Ugly Bob says, I'm so ugly, when I was born the doctor didn't know which end to slap. Bob has a face that looks like he's been set on fire and put out with a golf shoe. That's not good. Sorry, Bob. He's actually a very attractive man. And for those of you who don't know already, Ugly Bob does actually stunt double for Paul Hollywood on a regular basis. I'm not sure if he did with that 26-year-old barmaid, but you never know. We'll have to find out from Bob more about that later in the stream. So who else have we got on this tonight? We've got Mark Proctor. We've got Aletta. She's got 8 inches out of snow in the ground and more coming. Nick Monberg's in the house. He said, I went out not even an hour ago and it's not that cold if walking. We actually had to go out yesterday very, very briefly to send a birthday card to a member of the family, and well, basically we kind of forgot, so it is an emergency, kind of like, oh crap, let's get it in the post quick. So Sue, if you're watching by any chance, apologies if your card turns up late. Obviously I'm going to blame it on COVID and all that kind of stuff, so nothing to do with me. It was totally down to the Royal Mail and the Postal Service. Anyway, moving on. So we've also got Welsh Tony with us. And he says, it doesn't actually feel that cold to me. He's been out in -3. Oof. Jay from Texway is in with us. Jay's very conveniently skirted his way out of paying me £20 by releasing the video today. So if you're not a subscriber or you haven't seen Jay's stuff before, feel free to go over and check out his channel. Same obviously for Welsh Tony as well. Welsh Tony does unboxing, reviews and guides, very sort of similar to the things we do here. So if that is something that may be of interest to you, head on over there and check it out. Sky Stalker is in the house. He says, hello all. Sky, where have you been? We've been worried about you. Genuinely, we have been having actual worry, which is not a good thing. But good to see that you're still with us. Or someone else is using your keyboard. Actually, the spelling looks okay, so it might be someone else. Welsh Tony says, your audio and mine are clearly on a different sync. That's not good. Jad 2016 is with us as well, and yeah, he's singing along to the music. Is it okay, Kath?
It's okay.
Seems okay. If anyone, refresh a page. James Miscellaneous is with us also. James Miscellaneous also did a really cool video today, actually, well, kind of last night, I guess, into today, about the open RGB software and the compatibility with MSI and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to waste an hour and a half of your time, feel free to head over to James's channel and check out his video. Mark Proctor says audio is fine. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Unfortunately, I'm on the tethered mic again tonight. I did, you know me, I'm totally unprepared for everything. So I went over and went to grab my wireless mic pack, and it was down to like maybe 1 or 2 bars, and I thought that's not good. So gone on to the Boya wired mic. And actually, I really do love the sound of this microphone. I don't know about you guys, depending on what you're listening to. For me personally, when I'm editing and listening to the content, there's something about this Boya mic, the kind of the richness and the depth. Even this room is completely untreated, so literally you are hearing this as if you had it in your own home. So this is what it would be like. And actually, I think it's really good. And that is convenient because also on tonight's stream, we'll be giving away a set of the Boya, these little bad boys, the BY-HP2 headsets. Well, sorry, headphones rather. I shouldn't call them headsets because they're headphones, not headsets. These are monitor headphones for editing and that kind of stuff, but they just got a really, really nice tonal quality to them. So if you're watching movies or watching YouTube, spoken word, that kind of thing, absolutely brilliant. Ideally, they're tailored towards creative professionals for plugging into cameras, for monitoring audio, that kind of stuff, and for looking at playback. But certainly they're suitable for anything, and they don't have a shit ton of RGB, so they're really good for using out in the real world and not getting laughed at. So we'll be giving away not one, but because I'm a generous individual, we're going to give away 2. So there's going to be 2 lucky winners of these tonight. So we'll be doing that. If you're not sure how to get involved and join in with that, all you need to do is go over to our Discord chat server, go into the giveaway section, which will be on the left-hand side towards the top, and there's an entry for those particular ones. All you need to do is click on the thumbs up icon, and that will register your vote. So I will give you all until 1:15, so another 4 minutes. So if you haven't done it already, head on over to our Discord. Obviously, if you don't want to join, you don't have to, but you can actually, I'm pretty sure you can see the giveaways room and the affiliate links room without actually joining or that kind of stuff. Anyway, you get the idea. If you want to be in to win them, head over there now. You've got 4 minutes, or 3 minutes as it goes. Ugly Bob says, Flash Bugger. Okay. Yeah, now the winners aren't selected as of yet. James Missionary says, how dare you call it a waste of 1.5 hours? It's premium riveting content, 100% high octane entertainment. Well,
For insomniacs.
I will let you guys be the judge of that. Kath says it's actually for insomniacs, so James, you need to take that with Kath. And if you actually want to speak to Kath, any of you, she is over there manning the hot desk, so if you've got anything you want to say in the chat, feel free, just put @Kath. Actually, that'll make no difference at all because she's probably on my account.
I'm on my account on my
Oh,
phone.
she's on her account on her phone. So if you do @Kath Churchill, then you can message, or is it @Kath at Mike's Unboxing, or I'm not sure what it is in there.
Just Kath Churchill.
Yeah, just Kath Churchill. So if you want to say anything to Kath, feel free to do so. I'll give away 2 headphones, Flash Bugger. To be honest with you, Bob, it's more of a necessity. It is getting insane in here. If I put the other camera on briefly.
Not me.
Hello. This is the other angle. So if we just take this off of here and have a quick look around.
Not me.
There are boxes everywhere. We are in a kind of a pandemic of boxes. They just seem to be multiplying
We cleared this area.
all the time. We have cleared this space repeatedly, but unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, some fantastic people have been sending us stuff to review, so yeah, the boxes are stacking up. So it's nice to give some of it back to you guys in the community for the hard work you do, and also for tolerating my BBC self. And when I say BBC, I don't mean the British Broadcasting Corporation, I mean the Bristol Bolding C word. Anyway, that's enough of that. So back to this screen here. So where are we? 2 minutes left, guys and girls. So if you want to, Alessa says, I wonder if those headphones are as good as my Sennheiser HD660S. Truthfully, don't know. Not tried those, so I couldn't answer that. Angel Churchill's in there as well. She's actually just upstairs. She could just come down and say things, but anyway, there you go. Welsh Tony says, can't complain about boxes. Boxes pay the bills at the end of the day. Well, they do for you anyway. They kind of do. They do. All these boxes do go towards helping pay for everything we do here. We have been rather blessed, and the channel is doing actually pretty decent. At the moment, for most people on YouTube, you'll probably notice yourselves that your feeds are starting to dry up a little bit. There's a little bit less content out there at the moment, or if there is content, it's all the kind of same old stuff. And that is the time of year. We've also got Chinese New Year, we've got the human malware, all the lockdowns. It is a perfect disaster at the moment for entertainment purposes. There's virtually no new stuff to be reviewed, nothing really exciting on the horizon. Maybe, if we're all very, very lucky and we've all been very good, Lisa Su may grant us the ability to buy a massively overpriced RTX 3060 or 3060 Ti, should they become available. I'll be honest with you, guys and girls, I am not holding my breath for a new RTX card anytime soon, especially at the prices they are at the moment. They are insane. And even today, looking around for some other things which I'm working on project-wise, motherboards have taken a massive hit, it seems, recently, or at least in the last week or so. So if you're looking for a motherboard now, that is looking more and more sketchy as the days go on.
Wrong CEO, apparently.
Oh yeah, sorry, not Lisa. It's her uncle or whatever. They are related. Sorry.
It's Bob.
Yeah. I got Lisa Sue on the mind. It's because Bob's in the chat and he's got a thing for a bit of a fetish going on.
Only for her shoes. Just
for the shoes. Welsh Tony says, I have no idea what YouTube are doing at the moment, recommending me some weird stuff rather than showing me content from people I'm sub to. I have to manually look for the content at the moment. It does seem that is, yeah, YouTube is being very odd at the moment. They're being pretty good to us. We're not doing too bad, so we are still getting the videos and the views out there, which is awesome. But it's just that slow down time of year. Hopefully there'll be some really good stuff coming up, but it's not very likely, is it? So for those of you that don't know, this week coming up video-wise, we've got a really mixed bag of stuff. We really, really have.
Can you just answer Antonio's a second?
Oh, I got to answer Antonio's. My friend has a Ryzen 5 and Antonio, that is a difficult one. I'll try and come back to that later. That is, for stuff like that, ideally you want to get over to our Discord and we can chat about it there. But realistically, if your friend has a Ryzen 5 3400G and a 580 and he's building a new PC to play GTA 5, Battlefield, etc. at 1080p 280 Hz, 280 Hz in Battlefield 5 is going to take a lot of doing. And actually in quite a lot of those things. So it's not quite as easy as you'd think. Even with something really, well, quite high end, like a Ryzen 9 3900 or Ryzen 5 3600, and probably like a 2070, you're still not going to get that close to 280 frames per second in some of those games without cranking the settings down a little bit. That is a tough one. Personally, I would say probably hold out and wait and see what becomes available. We're allegedly on the cusp of lockdowns and stuff kind of lifting a little bit. So from what I said last week in last week's stream, my money's on May, June, July is when I think we're going to start seeing more PC components being available and at more normal prices, if that is even a thing anymore. Because for a lot of the kind of European community, us as well, we're then spring into summer, so May, June, July, also people potentially going away on holidays, so less likely to be buying PC stuff. I think May, June, July are going to be the kind of sweet spot for buying stuff, in my opinion. I could be completely wrong, and maybe in a few months' time we'll look back at this video and you can say, Mike, what an absolute dipstick you are. You were completely wrong. I should have bought my stuff when I said, but I haven't got a crystal ball. I am not the Messiah. I'm just Mike. I just say what I feel, and that is how I feel at the moment. Kath's pissing herself, literally pissing herself, because I've just stolen someone else's line from a, not YouTube, is it? What channel? What's he on? Brand YouTube.
No, BitChute.
BitChute. Someone on BitChute that we watch, and that's his tag. That is a fantastic cup of tea right there.
Wow.
It really is.
And also, can you just do J. Jones Arctic Freezer?
J. Jones.
Or NZX Kraken?
Well, the NZXT Kraken X52 versus the Freezer 2. Sorry, X53. Isn't the X53 the 120mm? Am I losing my mind? The Arctic Freezer is good, but it does have issues with compatibility because it having that extra thickness on the radiator, which is something which we're actually going to start looking at next week when we do some case reviews to see what fits and what doesn't, because the extra thickness on the freezer does throw a few compatibility issues. So it's going to depend on the case and stuff like that. Essentially, both of them, if you've got two 280mm radiators, essentially, depending on how you tune them for noise and performance, for the pump-wise, they're going to be within spitting distance of each other. There's kind of fractions within it. Okay, so what else have we got here? Aletta says we don't have lockdowns in Ohio, we have guns. Okay, right. Let's get the giveaways out of the way, because then I can start clearing some of this desk space. So, first of all, for the first pair of Boya professional monitor headphones, Kath, if you could reveal the winner, please.
Outlaw Fat.
The winner is Outlaw Fat. So, Outlaw Fat, if you're in the chat, awesome, well done. Don't forget to, well, actually, Kath will probably send you a message on our Discord, getting all your contact details, if we haven't got them already for some reason. So, yeah, there you go. Well done to Outlaw Fat, and hope you enjoy your headphones. So, there's one set gone. And also, massive thanks to Boya for, not sponsoring, but for sending them to me. They basically said, do what you like with them, so I am giving them away, which is a nice thing to do, because I'm a nice person, believe it or not, despite what it says in the toilets. So, Ugly Bob says, Mike's unboxing reviews now too. How did you get, or did you get anywhere with the Amazon regarding those fans? For those of you that caught the live stream midweek, I got the Antec fans, which was kind of a little bit of a kerfuffle. Basically, they had two stock keeping units, which were a little bit misleading. One was $29.99, the other one was $39.99, and they were essentially the same thing. I was expecting to see more fans. If you haven't seen it already, then you can check it out. It's going to be in the video description somewhere or other. Basically, I sent them back and got a refund. They did offer me £5 for my inconvenience, but I said, oh, I'm not really bothered about that. Just make sure you update the listing. And actually, it would be interesting to see if they have updated the listing. If anyone's got a Amazon window open, feel free to have a look and see what the deal is. We do seem to have dropped a couple of frames. Hopefully it's not noticeable. If it's noticeable, let me know in the comments and we'll sort it out. So, yeah, Outlaw Fett of our Discord chat, you are winner number one. Congratulations. We'll try and get these sent out as soon as we can. So, obviously, with the postage and all that kind of stuff at the moment, I'm going to go cheap. I'll be honest with you, I'll go cheap. I think Outlaw Fett is possibly in the UK. Not sure, but anyway. So the postage will probably go kind of second class tracked or signed for maybe. So you should get them before the end of the week. We'll try and post them off on Monday, Kath? Monday sound reasonable?
Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll try and get them shipped out on Monday morning.
We've got a parcel being picked up.
Bill Taylor says, congratulations to all the winners. That's what I like about this community. You are all so nice to each other. Gary says, what does it say in the toilets? It does say things about me which I would not repeat on air.
But it does say our Discord users are great as well.
It does, yeah, it does say the Discord users are fantastic. Waldo135 says, Mike, is the GameMax F15 good? Yes, it is. CAF is currently using that at the moment. I've got the Lian Li 215. Is it 215? Yes. Basically, they look the same. So
215?
we've got our cases set up, or our desk set up. So there's a chimney breast in the middle of the room, and either side is an IKEA desk, like a PC desk, which closes up at night and all that kind of stuff. So CAF's got a 32-inch monitor there. I've got a 32-inch monitor there. She's got the GameMax F15 case there. I've got the Lian Li 215 there. And yeah, basically it's like, if you put a line down the middle of the room, it's almost like a reflection on each side. It's pretty cool. Ugly Bob says, Amazon listing for those fans still seems to be misleading. Oh, that's crap. They have, Domus also says they haven't done it. Although someone just said there, Alexander Orlov says the listing looks to be updated. Okay, I'll check that out later. Well, Stoney says GameMax is great. I do like GameMax. I'm not too sure if they're actually still actively trading in the UK. They do seem to be really quiet. There's a lot of new stuff which should have come out, which is, for those of you who don't know, GameMax as a company has kind of got its global headquarters, which I believe are possibly in Taiwan. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me to that. But they then have subsidiary kind of outlets in each region. So you've got like a European one, which is including the United Kingdom. You've then got like Brazil, etc., etc. You'll probably find if you go to the GameMax site, if you go to the top, there'll be a link to kind of individual regions. But from what I can tell, I don't think GameMax UK are still kind of actively in the business as they were previously. Whether it's because they can't get stock at the moment because of shipping containers and all that kind of stuff, honestly don't know, but they've been exceptionally quiet. I've not seen any new stuff posted on any of their feeds recently, so yeah, be interested to know what's going on. At GameMax, if you've got any stuff and you're watching this, let me know, because there's loads of people out here that want to be finding out about it. And actually, I'm still using my GameMax Strike keyboard and mouse setup on my desk. Even though I got all these lovely keyboards and mice I can be using, that is still my daily driver, even though the red keys drive Kath mad at night. Anyway, let's move on from there.
2 seconds. 80s horror fans in the house.
80s horror fans in the house. Long time no see. Bloodhound Rice says, loving the stream and well done to the winners. Thank you very much. That's cool. Zars Coin says, what's up with the GT card, Mike? This, actually, yeah, we might as well move on to this now before we take a look at the processor.
Are we going to do the other winner?
Oh, sorry, yeah, let's go on in. Do the other winner. Press the button, Kath.
Welsh Tony.
Welsh Tony 1 is the winner of the other set of headphones. Awesome. Welsh Tony definitely is part of the United Kingdom. Clues in the title. So that means
He's from Scotland.
I don't have to spend a load of money shipping these to overseas countries. Result. Although saying that, it's not a result because it's just basically money that the taxman would otherwise take off me. The bastard. Anyway, Welsh Tony, there you go. You got a set of headphones as well. So that is Outlaw Fett and Welsh Tony 1. Obviously, if you guys want to be involved in other giveaways as they happen later on, don't forget to join our Discord and you'll find out about those first of all there. And we'll mention them obviously in future streams and stuff like that. So that is that done. That's given me. Tony says just throw it, Mike. It's only over the bridge. The amount of times I spent going over that bridge over the years.
I'm breaking down on it.
I'm breaking down on it. Yeah, don't break down on the bridge. It's awesome. Waldo says, yeah, but the GameMax F15 is on Amazon, so GameMax F15 are still sending the cases to Amazon UK. Okay. Let's hope we see more. Ugly Bob says, it couldn't happen to a Welsher fellow. Well, it could. It could be someone who's actually Welsh. That would be kind of useful.
Not Scottish.
Not Scottish, yes. Right, that's out of the way. Excellent. So this week, I bought this. I wish I hadn't, but as we all know, it is what it is at the moment. There's not a lot available. This is one of only 3 graphics cards at the time of purchase, which was available from Scan, was it? Or was it CCL? I think it was Scan. No, CCL? Anyway, basically one of the big kind of 5 or 6 companies in the UK which sell components. So it was a choice of this, a GT710, a GT730, or variants of the 1030. So I sadly went for this one. I think including the postage, this cost me in the region of about £85, which is ridiculous. It genuinely is. It's not worth that. I would say realistically it's probably worth about 60. Around about £60 is fine. What's that, sorry?
Credit Ugly Bob when you do the video.
Yes, I did. I think I did credit Ugly Bob in the video. Did I?
I'm not sure you did.
I did blame somebody. I didn't credit, I blamed somebody. But essentially, I bought this. I've done some testing with it. And sadly, it falls somewhere in the region of Vega 8 and Vega 11 graphics, which are onboard graphics. So the reason why you would buy this is potentially at the moment it still has a resale value of approximately similar money. If you've bought a system and you still can't get a graphics card, this will get you up and running. It will play Cyberpunk 2077, yes, that's right, at very, very low frames and very, very low quality, as you'll see in the video when it gets released. Also, surprisingly, Flight Sim 2020 is actually a moderately enjoyable experience with this card, which I wasn't expecting. I genuinely wasn't. Obviously, your esports titles, things like Rocket League, CSGO, absolutely no issues at all. 1080p, high settings, 60 frames per second all day long in both of those. Again, there is footage of that in the videos. The thing which really did it for me with this is because potentially I might get another mini ITX system up and running. And the beauty of this is it is tiny. It generally is tiny. It is a really, really small card. Best of all, it doesn't require any additional power to power the 30-watt gargantuan GPU, which is underneath that huge heatsink and fan. Minecraft, yeah, Minecraft's no worries at all. Obviously, RTX off. But because it's got a relatively largish fan, it's not as silent as the heatsink only ones, but it does mean that this thing can actually boost way above its factory rated clocks. And this is the OC version, and I took it apart, put some new thermal paste on there, because that's kind of one of the things I do for straight away anyway. And this thing actually boosts, the standard clock in this is supposed to be kind of like 1200, then up to about 1560, I think. But this thing was hitting like 1780, 1775 pretty much consistently, without touching it, without any overclocks or anything, just literally out of the box, due to the cooling, due to the system. I wouldn't say it was flying. It's only a 2 gig card, so it's limited there. And
what on MS?
Huh?
What on Flight Sim?
No, yeah, it's very limited on that.
Not flying.
No, not flying. Yeah, flying in Flight Sim is about the closest you're going to get to getting anywhere on this card. It's only got HDMI and DVI-D, so ideally this is great for older systems, like your old Dells, small form factors, that kind of thing. This is going to be brilliant to spring a bit of life into those older systems. For me, it was more of a kind of, how bad can it actually be? Now, being that you can't buy an APU at the moment from AMD, such as the 2200G, 3200G, 2400G, 3400G, all of them are ridiculously expensive and pretty much not available anywhere. Unless you go down the used market, and then you do have all those kind of problems. So I figured I'd try this. I put it in the system behind me, which is the Ryzen 5 3600. And like I said, it wasn't a horrible experience. It wasn't great, but needs must. And I just think it's a cute card. The other one option was the Asus one, which had a blue PCB. Well, that isn't got a backplate, but it looks kind of stealthy. It looks okay, it looks presentable. You can put it into a system and it'll be okay. So that was the story behind that. Obviously, if you want to watch the full video, then that'll be coming out later on in the week. So make sure you subscribe for all that kind of stuff, and you can see my pained expressions when I'm actually going through the motions with it. But that is where we are with the world at the moment. There is virtually nothing out there available. You can try the second-hand market. If you don't mind potentially getting stung on things, then yeah. Can it run Crisis? Kind of. Sort of. About 25 frames per second, 30 frames per second, low settings. I haven't shown that in the video and I haven't actually played it, but from what I've seen from someone else doing the benchmarks on it, that is what you're expecting. So it will play pretty much most games. I did also, I think I ran Far Cry New Dawn, and that actually ran okay, somewhere in the kind of 40 to 50 frames per second, 1080p low settings, and it looked fine. It played okay. Again, you'll see some stuff from footage from that in the video. It isn't awful. It's disappointing. That is what it really is, that you have to pay so much money for a card which has really quite limited appeal. But it's available, you can buy it and you can get yourself up and running. So potentially I could resell this, make a small loss on it, and it's not the end of the world. I could keep it and just use it for not benchmarking, that'd be crazy, just for doing sort of tests on systems, like a workbench, that kind of thing, just to see if something posts. It's one of those things, because it doesn't need any power, it removes the kind of necessity for a larger power supply, that kind of stuff. Anyway, you get a general idea. So if you want to see that, stay tuned. Don't buy that one, it's broken. Also, coming up this week is I can't believe I did this. I did a review for a power distribution unit. For those who don't know what this is, if you're into networking in any way, shape or form, you will recognize this immediately. Basically, this is a 19U rack mount power supply. So it's lightning and surge protected, and it's got a protective case over the power button so it doesn't get accidentally turned off. It's got a really nice clicky power button. Essentially, for modern computers now, it's a really scary thing. You think the amount of things you've got plugged into your surge protector or your power brick at home. You've probably got a PC, expensive monitor perhaps, your router, mesh system or something, maybe a NAS, which a NAS in itself is one of those things that if that gets fried, you are screwed. Like, it's great having a NAS and having all that redundancy and backup and tons of disks, but if you get a surge or a lightning strike and it fries your hard drives, you're screwed, properly screwed, and it's unlikely you're going to get that data back. So this is actually at the moment is 20 quid roughly on eBay, and also directly from Casa UK, which is the kind people who sent this and the Ions cases. I really want to set up a rack, a nice rack mount with patch panels, my router, my NAS, everything just hidden away somewhere, not in the front room, not in here, just basically in a closet somewhere, so I can keep it all in one place and keep it all nice and safe and secure. So this is going to cost me a fortune, because now I've got to buy a rack case to put it in, and then all the other stuff, so paneling, all that stuff. So there will be a follow-up video from this on my kind of home network setup. So I'm essentially going to rewire the house for Cat 6, put in all the jack plugs, go through the whole setup, pretty much from start to finish. We won't do it all in one video, obviously we'll go through and do it step by step. So there'll be a section on wiring, section on patch panels, section on routers, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, hopefully some of you guys will find it interesting. Maybe you're going to start thinking about doing it yourselves at home, maybe having some sort of comms panel to have all your shared stuff or your shared hard drives and stuff. And this essentially is probably one of the things which you'd normally overlook, but actually could save your bacon should you have any kind of electrical issues with your power supply. So actually ultra boring, but could actually save your bacon. And I've been there before. Data loss is a horrendous thing. There's been a few people, friends and family and that, who've had hard drives go on them, or have had power surges, lightning strikes, and they've lost components. So yeah, definitely worth taking a look at. And certainly I have them. And it's going to cost me a load of money. Let's have a look at some of your questions, everybody. What was number 4? So you can see me reading it. Hiya! So, Steve Hill says, I use our bedroom. My wife complains a bit. Exactly. It's really good to have a nice little thing somewhere, let's say in a closet, maybe just in a wardrobe. Just run the cables up through the back of a wardrobe if you've got one of those built-in wardrobes. Keep all your network stuff safe and secure and actually out of harm's way as well. Welsh Tony says, ha, copycat Mike. Yeah, Tony did some videos on network setups and racks and panels and all that, so if you're interested in that stuff, then head over to Tony's and see what he's done, and then you can compare and see how badly I do. Paul Bakewell says, I fitted a few 32 amp versions of those. That one's, I think, only the 16 amp. It's 3,300 watts is the limit for the draw actually on the 6 plugs, which if you divide it down, that's actually pretty decent. Biohazard says, get some nice Draka Cat 6 or Cat 7 cable, really good stuff that. I'm actually looking forward to it. When we moved in this house, probably what, 16 years ago, is it?
I think so.
About 16 years ago, we put in some cable in, but you always overlook the things. Well, you can't see into the future. You can't see what you're going to do later on. So we made some pretty poor choices. It works and it's effective, and we've got like a gigabit Ethernet throughout the house, which is fine. But there's some areas where it just wasn't done properly, so it'd be really good to do it all again and actually have it terminating somewhere. Maybe in the loft. That is a potential. Maybe in the loft. I have considered that. I would like to get it all up in the loft out of the way. That would be great. But anyway, we'll see. Bill Taylor says eventually you'll have a nice rack. Lol. Yeah, I was waiting for the rack jokes. I realized when I made the video, you'll have to note. Well, when you watch the video for that switch, the power supply, every time you can see me stifle a laugh, you got to take a shot. That's the rules. MMB Tech says, good evening, Mike and Katie. Hope you're both well. Katie. He called you Katie.
That's also correct.
Autocorrect, sorry.
Not his fault.
No. Kath doesn't like being called Katie. Or Kate.
But I understand autocorrect does that.
Wildlife Snapper says, I don't need lightning. My son's Samsung M.2 drive killed itself. Yeah. Oh, Blake says, how are you getting on with your car battery booster? Use my Yabra one 3 times now and it never fails to start on the first turn. Very impressed. First key turn, sorry. Truthfully, actually, I haven't used the car. Although, no, we did, didn't we? Did we?
We used it once.
I had a weird thing happen where there appears to be condensation in the fuse box. So our neighbour came around the other day and said, Mike, your windscreen wipers are on in your car. And immediately I'm like, how's that even possible? And looked in the fuse box and it's basically soaking wet in there. So I think where we've had condensation and the engine's not been on, and to burn all that off, it's caused a lot of devastation in my fuse box. So jump starting the car might be the last of my worries at the moment. But we'll, yeah. I really don't want to delve into that. I bought a new relay for the wipers because that was all corroded. I'm dreading putting it back in because if the wipers still carry on going after that, that means like a potential rewire of the car, which means basically I'm going to have to write the car off. So that is, yeah, that is not good. Not good at all.
And we haven't really had a money's worth.
Zero Phil Tech Tip says, hello Mike from Greece. How you doing? Jake from Techsway says, I consider doing a few networking videos, including setting up multiple VLANs for improved home security, but not sure how much interest they'd be in these sorts of videos. Well, you'll definitely get more interest than you will on anything Intel related. Intel related videos tank, and they tank hard, and I kind of regret doing them, but sooner or later someone is going to watch them, so as long as one person watches them, I'm happy. Ugly Bob says, night worse than a soaking wet box. Yes, I agree. It's absolutely ruined. Bright Echo 9 says, just popped in to say hi. Hi, Bri, how you doing? Hopefully you're keeping well also. Long time no speak, actually. I accidentally went into your Discord the other day and answered a question thinking it was in my Discord. First world problems. That's what you get for being overworked, overstressed, and just on a computer. Oh, just about to go in and say hello, and all of a sudden someone asks a question. It's like, oh god, another question. Let's answer that quickly. Oh, I do love Discord. It is fun. Ugly Bob says, yeah, you can tell all the people with dirty minds. You certainly can. Right, let's take a look at the. Let's have a look at our delivery from CEX, because obviously that was what the thumbnail was all about. So we really should take a look at it. And actually, there was a little bit of a potential issue because currently behind me, I've been running the system, which is what I wanted to set it all up to actually test the processor. But this is actually running on. Basically, I've got a Seagate drive there, an Iron Wolf, which was sent to me via the good people at Seagate, and they did say at the time, this is a drive that we've kind of found in the back of the storage. It's not got a warranty on it, but if you want to use it for your videos, you're more than welcome to. So I was doing some NAS videos and also did some Seagate videos. So yeah, it's like, okay, whatever, just send it, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Now, it did actually last for a while, but for those of you that are regular keen-eyed viewers, you will remember that for ages, just behind here, there was 2 Seagate drives which were on display. And me, being the absolute dipshit that I am at times, on a few occasions, reaching around to get cables, managed to knock over the drives, which, for those of you that have had mechanical drives in the past, you will know that mechanical drives do not like being knocked over, especially onto hard surfaces. If they're onto something soft, then it's absolutely fine generally. But yeah, one of the drives did take a little bit more of a tanking than the other. So when I put it in my Synology drive to start a new set of videos, it came up with a warning saying imminent failure, replace your drive. So I went onto Seagate's site to see if I could actually try and fudge a warranty out of it. And literally it was 24 hours out of warranty with Seagate. And if I had it on the side for ages, and if I'd have only tested it a day before, I could have possibly swung a replacement drive. Ultimately, it's my fault. I should have just got on with it and stopped being a dick. But it cost me another drive, so I bought another drive, which was about 100 quid, which kind of was avoidable, but hey ho. So what I'm trying to do, I've got it in the Oracle Caddy, and I've been trying to go through Windows and actually get it to. It basically said there's a load of bad sectors on the drive, which is normally, if a drive's been knocked, it will register a bad sector if it's kind of partially readable. So you can run a program to actually do a complete drive scan of the surface to re-register what sectors are working and which ones aren't. All drives have got like a small kind of, almost like an emergency section. So if there is a bad sector, it will mark it as bad or basically reallocate that sector to a part on the drive which is reserved. Which is a bit technical, but you get the idea. So if there's a bad bit, it basically blocks it off to the operating system, tells it to use another part, and that is all done, and it hides the information from the operating system. So the operating system or the NAS looks at the drive and says, yeah, that drive's fine, no problems at all. So I had to do that. I started it at the wrong time, and it said, oh, it was due to finish about 9:15. So I had to leave it where I was going. I didn't want to move it around any further to actually try and kill it more so. So yeah, that is why it's still there, and I was going to have my other system there to test this processor. But the processor we'll take a look at now anyway. So, yes, it's scary stuff. So let's get on to the processor, because this is what most of you want to see. And when I actually unboxed this, I was going to do a live stream straight away, and
Angel cooked her birthday cake.
Angel started cooking a birthday cake, so I digressed. And I was fuming. I'd had a tax bill come in for some stuff that I got sent through for a review, which I shouldn't have got taxed on, which actually the tax bill was more expensive than the damn item that I was sent. So I was pissed at that. Then this thing comes through, and I opened it up and I was like, this is just too much. I'm gonna have to go and have a lie down or something. This is just not great. So let's go through the process of taking a look at this, and yeah, let's get your opinions on it. So first of all, this is the box that everything came in. I've taken the label off, obviously, because you don't want to see my address and all that. but this is the box that the processor came in. Now the processor is an Athlon 3000G. God, I have to think then. $39.95 it cost me from CEX, which in the current climate is probably about £10 less than what it would retail for if you could buy one. So I figured it'd be a good idea, and I think it was possibly Seam at Night in our Discord who pointed out that they were available, or it may have been someone else. I can't remember who it was, but if you're in the chat or you're in the stream now, stick your hand up and let us know. It might have been Mike actually. Anyway, I digress. So this is basically the box that came in. So I'm thinking straight away, actually, considering it's free postage, that is pretty decent packaging. This is looking good. Normally, if you buy a processor, for some reason they put it in like just a Jiffy envelope, or even just normally a standard A4 envelope. And I'm sure there's people in the stream watching who have seen the title of this and thought, yeah, I've done it. I've bought stuff from CEX and it's turned up basically in a folded over piece of A4 paper with my name written on it. And that is normally what comes through for a lot of people. So when I see this box, I'm thinking, yeah, that's pretty awesome. So obviously it had a tear strip on the front. I've already taken it off, so I sellotaped it down to keep it in its box. So moving into the box, you see this. So you think, great, that is some decent bubble wrap in there. Looking pretty good. So whoever's done this has taken a little bit of care and attention and actually realised that it's a delicate part and that it needs proper packing. You can't just send it out in anything because it's going to get banged around, etc. So this
Chunky Wiener did it.
Yeah, this Chunky Wiener might have sent this out. This is the kind of packaging I expect for a hard drive, and a mechanical hard drive, because they're delicate. So we carefully go into the box and we remove the bubble wrap. So let's get rid of the exterior packaging, which can be reused, that's good. So this is where it starts to unravel, quite literally. So we undo this, and excellent. We've got a boxed processor, which is a little bit on the lightweight side, so obviously there's not going to be a heatsink in there. But we can live with that. That isn't the end of the world. So we open up the box, and again, looks like they've paid some really good care and attention to detail here, and they've actually put some packing inside there. They could have probably just done that. Put some tape around it, stuck a label on it, bosh, job done. But no, they put it inside that extra packaging just to make sure that it arrives in A1 perfect condition. Now, for those of you that are observant, you're probably already picking up the sarcasm in my voice right now. Well done to you. This is where it gets worse. So you take out a little bit of bubble wrap and oh, it doesn't appear that there's actually anything in the bubble wrap. This is where it gets fun. So this is actually how I found it. Now I might have to get Kath to tap on the focus button so you can actually see what is in there, but I guess most of you can actually see what is in there. So that effectively is a processor pins up, wedged into the bottom of a plastic container. So when I saw that, I was pissed, because basically that is 40 quid down the drain. So all of this is essentially smashed. Now, don't get me wrong, CEX do offer a 2-year warranty. Whether or not that includes employees' inability to actually send out something intact, I don't know. But, so that processor is kind of wedged in there. So this is the first time I've actually taken this out of here. And there's hairs on it. So I'm going to...
come off your head.
There are some... I'm going to have to get in front of the camera now so you guys can actually see this, to see what the pins are actually like. Because it's oh, shit. That's not good. That's better. Right, let's see if I can actually focus on this, because I am something of a idiot when it comes to doing this kind of stuff. So let's see if we can focus on that. So that is the processor. Now it actually doesn't look too bad. Now depending on how it comes across on the actual screen there,
someone used it as a comb.
It does appear that there's something actually, there's like a line
No,
Yeah. I'm going to wiggle it around a bit in different lights. It doesn't look too bad, if I'm completely honest. But on closer inspection, there is definitely hair on it and stuff like that. So the chances of it actually working, let's see if I can zoom in a bit better. There we go. That should be pretty much bang on. So it doesn't appear.
You're only jealous of the hairs.
I am jealous of the hairs, but you can see there's like a definite line on your screen on the right hand side. You can see there's like a straight line. That's actually shown quite well there, I think. I'm not sure if it's focusing, but you can see there's like a line that goes from the top to the bottom, almost like a crack, actually in the die.
I think Bob said if it's a Lisa Sue's hair, I could pay you £1,000 for it.
So anyway, that is the processor. It doesn't appear to have any bent pins that I can see. Again, this is going to be particularly difficult to actually show you on camera in a stream. But luckily, it doesn't seem that there are any bent pins. So potentially it might work. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Microphone.
Microphone. Oh yeah, don't want to trip over that. Ah dear. So that is the processor as it arrived. Now the chances of this actually working first time, I think, are severely limited. And I'm really worried that there does appear to be...
Pin 661 is bent.
There's something actually stuck on one of the pins, I can see. I really could do with magnifying glasses, but there is definitely something on there. So the thing is, if I put this into a motherboard, if there's stuff on the pins, potentially I could be jamming whatever gunk is on there actually into the motherboard socket, and that is not going to come out. Not in a hurry. So really, I need to work out if I can get that off of there. That is going to be very difficult to do, I think. I was hoping it was going to blow off. But it's actually, it might be moving. So, sorry, headphone users. So there is definitely something kind of stuck on the top there. I need more than glasses.
Bob wants you to have your foxy glasses on.
I'm not getting the foxy glasses on. So I need a knife to actually see if I... Have you got a knife blade, please?
Get on.
Yeah, can I have a sharp knife, please? So I'm going to try and get that. I don't want to try it in a system because I think it's going to die. I'm pretty sure it's going to die.
Is that alright?
Yeah, that might be alright. So this is how to destroy a processor, ladies and gentlemen. Holy crap, I only got it. So there is, I'm not even sure what that is. There was something on there anyway. Definitely something on there. So that was like a little grain of something. Could be anything. Could be, I don't know, jizz for all I know. The rest of it does seem to be okay.
Someone's going to jizz on that.
It's not jizz on Monica. So the rest of the pins looking down the line actually don't look too bad. Now what you can do if you do get a CPU and you've got bent pins, if you take out the blade from one of these knives, you can actually put it in and you can kind of gently wiggle them from side to side with the knife blade and you can bend them. They will take a little bit of bending. I think I just bent a pin then with my finger. I really need to put this down before I damage it any further. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my PC off behind because that's finished doing what I needed to do. And I'm going to plug in my other box of tricks I've got down there. I'm going to put the CPU in. Hopefully it boots. I don't think it's gonna. Let me know in the comments or in the chat if you think it's actually gonna boot. I don't think it's gonna.
2 cores, 4 threads, 16 sperm.
Yeah. Or spray some isopropyl. Yeah. Stuart Clarice, I'm pouring another quadruple dark and stormy. I wish I was. I think alcohol at this time would be not a good idea. Cyberpunk 1882 says Intel has the right idea with the pins on the motherboard instead of the CPU. You wouldn't get this problem then. The trouble is with Intel boards, Intel have got the right idea. because Intel don't sell motherboards now to the general public. It's only for servers and kind of businesses. So they've got the right idea, because the processor is very difficult to damage. Or if you get the pads dirty, you can just clean the pads off. The problem is buying a second-hand Intel motherboard is you've got to be really, really careful that none of the pins are bent or damaged. That is basically the polar opposite of the AMD, whereas with AMD, the boards generally are indestructible as far as the socket goes, but the pins are what are the weak point. So if they did change the design and add it like Intel, all they're doing is shifting the problem from them to the motherboard vendors. And the amount of motherboards I've seen, do it yourself now, go onto Facebook or eBay, do a search for LGA 11 5X motherboard bent pins, and there's tons of them. People sell them off so cheap because it's almost impossible to bend those pins back because they're on two lots of angles, so they're kind of, rather than being like upright pins, they're kind of sideways and on a 45-degree angle and sprung, and then on the other side they're sprung the other way. So you can't kind of like just push them all in one direction and hope they go right, like putting your hands through blades of grass. It doesn't kind of work like that. Boards these days are cheaper than the CPU to replace. That's actually a good point. That is a good point. John Sullivan says, Steve Burke recommends Thermal Grizzly Sperminote paste. He probably does. Oh dear. Right. Biohazard X9 says, I think it will boot. AMDs are quite strong. Phil Saylor says, I love a nerd with a sense of humour. Thanks, nerdies. Slim Pickens says, just put it in the oven for a bit. I've done that with a graphics card, I've not done that with a CPU, and I don't think I'm in a position where I'm going to start trying that. Because actually, I got a load of hate from the last one. Anyway, so what happened to the hard drive? Let me just double check that. So we've got 0 kilobytes in bad sectors. Ooh. Now that is good, because originally it said I had 6,128 bad sectors, I believe. So it appears I have removed the bad sectors. Let's have a look. Awesome. Right, let's shut this PC down and turn the hard drive caddy off and put the drive somewhere safe so I don't destroy it again. Hopefully that little Windows fix potentially has just saved me 100 quid. Hopefully. So let's get my other PC. Bear with me a second, hold the line caller. I'm just going to get my system. I was just thinking I need to get a graphics card as well, but I don't, do I? Because there's one built into the processor. Fantastico.
Can we plug your mic?
Oh, that's right, I got it. I'm pretty paranoid about dropping stuff now. Okay, so this is my, you've probably seen this before, this is the Colink Citadel case. Actually, one of my favourite Micro ATX cases of all time, I think. Kath's like, oh, glass panels. Yes. So I've already got a motherboard in here, which technically could also be an issue because I don't think natively this motherboard supports that processor. Although, having said that, that is based on a similar architecture to the A8 series of AM4 processors, which they do send out from AMD for doing the BIOS updates. So, yeah. There's not really a lot you can see in there, unfortunately. Wait for the ISO to kick in. So, it's a B550 Pro VDH Wi-Fi. Pretty decent board. And let's just pop the CPU in. Now, for those of you that have not done this before, when you put your CPU in, always make sure you line up the text with the text actually on the top of the socket. So it'll say AMD AM4 or socket AM4. So make sure that writing lines up with the writing that's actually on the processor. And you should find that it just plops straight in the socket, which I don't think that did.
Why don't you put it on its side?
I could put it on the side, but where is the fun in that?
No, you put the case down on top of it.
Yeah, put the case on top of the CPU to flatten out any erroneous pins. I should have taken the motherboard out actually, that would have made life a lot easier. Desperately trying not to touch the pins. So yeah, that does appear to be, let's go on to camera number deuxième. So you can see the CPU is in there and it appears to be flat, it's not wiggling around or anything, there's no movement side to side.
The camera is there.
The camera is though, because I've not had my medicine or any beer. So we just lock that into place. Awesome. Christ, the camera is shaking like crazy. So I need to put a cooler on it now, and I don't think I've got a crappy stock cooler, which I'll just clip over. I may have to get something else. So let me see what I can do with that. I'll have to look through. There are some coolers up there. What shall I put on there which would be nice and easy? Freezer 7, Freezer 13. Let's go with the Freezer 7, that's pretty decent. Let's stick that back on there. And let's go back to that camera there. So we'll go with, I think we'll go with the Freezer. Which one did I review already? The Freezer 7, didn't
7X.
I? Let's go with the 7X then, because I've already messed that up. Oh, actually, saying that, oh no. I've got a huge AMD cooler there, but that's going to need the back plate coming off. Let's go with the Freezer 7. If this works, I'll be amazed. Genuinely. Do I want a beer? I think I need more than a beer. I need a sedative. My nerves are shot. That's the trouble with a high-profile YouTube channel. Not that I'd know about that. Ah dear. Right, let's put this on. Actually, that's probably a decent cooler to put on with that. So, unfortunately, actually, let's see if I can grab the camera again.
Got some of that Sperminal.
I'll have to use some of Steve Burke's Sperminal 5, whatever it is. Is that on there? There. See, that works out pretty decent. I have actually been sent, for those of you that are interested, Ions have been really good to me, or Casa UK rather, they are the kind of the owners of the Ions brand. They've sent this through, which is silicon grease, which is their new like thermal cooling compound, and it actually has a thermal conductivity of 13.4 watts per meter Kelvin, which actually seems to be extremely impressive. 13.3 watts per Kelvin. Most cooling pastes are quite a lot lower than that, like 7 or 8. Arctic,
Like you're going to read that.
Arctic Silver. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Actually, I don't think it says on there.
Let me see.
I can see it. I'm not that blind. There. What does it say? Read it out to me, everybody, in the chat. I can't see a bloody thing. No, seriously, I can see that. It's not going to do it. it's not. That is. It doesn't say it on there. Someone's going to have to look it up for me.
I can see it on there.
It just says made in the UK or something. Something along those lines.
It does say some instructions.
Yeah, see? Anyway, it's got a 5-year warranty, although for thermal paste that's probably not really relevant. But actually 13.7 watts per meter Kelvin, that does seem particularly good. And this, if it's easy to apply,
Bob said, what does it taste like?
that could be a winner. What does it taste like? I'd imagine it tastes like shit. Just putting it out there. There's a potential that it is. Ricardo says Arctic Silver 5. I love it. Shame it's too small. It is. It is a little bit too small. Ray D says, put on the funny glasses, Mike. That's not funny glasses. That's my bloody vision glasses. So I can actually see what the hell's going on. Oh, dear. Welcome to Mr. McHugh's unboxing and how-to. Here. Anyway, that's enough of that silliness. You guys don't come here for silliness. You come here for
funny glasses.
Funny glasses and technical reviews. Let's put this on. So put a little bit of gloop on there. Not going to need a lot, so just a tiny little blob there. A little bit of an ugly blob. See what I did there?
Oh, don't be mean.
So let's give you a close-up of that, if the cable's long enough. So that is an ample amount, especially for this kind of processor. You won't really need much more than that.
Wildlife Snappers put something a bit too technic for me.
Ugly wildlife snappers. Is this it? No. It should say something else. Hugh Wong says, "Hi Mike, this is exciting." Hugh Wong, you need to get out more. This is not exciting. If your life has come to this...
Have you taken the plastic off?
I have taken the plastic off this time. I don't do that very often.
Probably Bob mentioned that.
Thanks, Bob. Right, let's try and get these hooked on. So this is the Arctic 7 cooler. Let's go back to this camera. So I've deliberately loosened these off a little bit, so I'm going to tighten them up just so they stay in place. Yes, Kath?
Hugh Wong has given us a sticker for $99.
Thanks, Hugh.
Or 99.
Thank you for the sticker. What? What am I doing? Oh. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, dear Lord. Right. Let's see. Has your computer just crashed?
No, I can see.
Thank God for that. I don't want to be doing any... Where's the... Ah, there it is. There's the cable. I was concerned that the PWM cable was hidden. I hope this works. I will be quite disappointed if it doesn't. Although, I am not holding my breath whatsoever. And Ugly Bob's in a 420. Disco, disco, disco. Calf's missing the disco.
Missing the disco.
Calf, what's going on? Disco cat. You silly sausage. Well, I've got to put it on the other camera now. Right, let's turn this around and try and hook his view at that over there. Oh crap, let's turn around. I'm not a fan of these fittings on these Arctic Freezer 7s. It's okay, but it's a little bit annoying. Although saying that, it was very good of Arctic to send them over for us to take a look at, so... Beggars can't be choosers and all that. Oh, come on. Right, stay in place. This is probably one of the worst mounting mechanisms known to man. Oh my God. Right. Excellent. Right, that's not going to spin around now. Or at least that's the theory. So let's get that hooked over. Actually, if I take that off, I might be able to see what's going on. This is a lot easier to do with the motherboard out of the box, clearly. Is that hooked on? Yes, it appears to be. We have some form of success. So now we've got to get the other side over. And there we go, we're locked in. Lock and load.
What motherboard is that?
Motherboard is the MSI B550 Pro VDH Wi-Fi. What to think about it. And the screwdriver won't go any further, so that is the end of that game of soldiers. See if I can get a smaller screwdriver in there. Yeah, that is, you can see that, is a horrendous place to get a screwdriver into. So yeah, we won't be using this cooler again in a particular setup like this. Let's plug in the CPU fan, which is up this top. There's the one, well, not the one, this is one of the downsides of this particular chassis. There isn't a great deal of working room at the top, which actually is one of the things which stops it from being perfect. Other than that, it's actually pretty darn close. So there we go. There is the cooler installed, and you give it a quick spin, make sure nothing's cut. And while I'm at it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that around to there. And it's always a good idea, if you can in these situations, just pop out the BIOS battery and short out the BIOS. So just put a screwdriver across the 2 pins there, just to discharge the CMOS. Press and hold the power button, obviously without the power supply, just to discharge anything which may be in there. So battery back in, and now what I can do is I'll disconnect my other PC, which is going to be a real pain, but still, this is all part of it, part of the excitement, the build up to see if it's dead or not. Although again, like I said, potentially this motherboard may be completely incompatible with this particular setup, so there is a likelihood that it may not work anyway. That is always a potentially, or at least a potentially likely thing to happen.
Put it onto the other camera and you're dragging your mic wire.
I am dragging my other mic wire, I do apologise. Right, let's put that back up there. And put this back up on the counter. It looks weird not having a graphics card. I can live with that. So let's have some power. Let's have the USB for the keyboard and mouse. We'll have a little bit of Ethernet. And let's have some VGA, not VGA, sorry, HDMI. And now on this, if I, number 4, yeah, you guys can see that now. Let's turn that way. There we go. There you go. You've got a ringside seat now. You can see. Oh crap! I hate wired mice. Not mice. The other thing. So you're now looking out, as I am. Well, I'm not. Let's look at the diagnostic LED.
Bang!
It's currently on CPU. Which is oh, it's flicking. And it should do that a few times. I don't know if you can see that. There's an LED at the top there. Oh, it looks like, I don't believe it, it's actually going to go. That says out of range. I can live with that. I actually don't think we've got a... there isn't an operating system attached to the disc, which is unfortunate. Out of range, we had that before, didn't we? Anyway, Stuart Cleary's 10 euros and says, have a beer, Mike, thanks. I'm going to need one after this, I think. So currently we don't have any, bright light. Currently we do not have any output, it just says out of range, but we have seen that before. So, currently it's gone past the CPU light and it's gone past the VGA light and all that stuff. So it just says boot. So that means potentially it's working. So let's see if we can get this to boot up. I'd love to be able to show you guys the BIOS screen, but it may not happen. No, we get out of range. Why did we get out of range last time? It was the monitor, wasn't it?
It was something to do with the monitor. When you plugged it into that monitor on your desk.
So it's definitely taking an output. It's just not liking the output. Out of range. That was something to do with the BIOS last time, wasn't it? Because it was the wrong resolution. Actually, does the mouse and keyboard come on? Because they should be lighting up. Out of range, out of range. Out of range. Yeah, I've had this today already a few times where it's not liked it. So let's see if I plug in. This is going to kill my other screen. So let's plug this one in. This is, bizarrely, both monitors here are almost identical, so this may not resolve it. I'm gonna roll over my stuff now. That says out of range as well. Why does that say out of range? Right.
Integrated graphics turned off in the BIOS from the last step.
Well, they should be automatically on, enabled, because the BIOS was reset. But what I'll do is, if I use the Aero ITX, so that should resolve any issues with the BIOS, in theory. So let's put that back in there. Come on, you codger. Is that screen back on? Yes, there we go. What's normally on there? Yeah, that one.
Are you chewing gum, Mike?
Yeah.
What type?
Well, I don't know, whatever you bought.
Extra. Extra white bubble mint.
Monitor send unstandard resolution. Patrick says the A320 M-K just went up by 20 Canadian dollars. Motherboards are getting ridiculously expensive right now. Like, ridiculously expensive. So.
Screen resolution is set to something higher than what the monitor can display.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, because the I've had this on a couple of motherboards recently, especially on the older AMD stuff. Actually, funny enough, there was I got sent a red key USB to test, which is basically for wiping drives, and it's designed around Intel systems, and the Intel graphics driver in BIOS is actually really kind of standard and native, whereas the AMD one is basically well, junk and doesn't work very well at all. And I couldn't get the software to load. It kept on crashing. And the guy's like, well, I've written the software, it's really good software, it's like excellent. And it works fine on all our systems. And I'm like, well, are you using AMD systems? And he's like, well, no, they're all Intel because it's business machines. Like, try an AMD one. Tried an AMD one, couldn't get it to work. So we had to remake the driver for it, which I haven't tested yet. I did promise I would test it, but unfortunately, not quite got around to that as of yet. So HDMI. Let's tap that to get into the BIOS. I've got a feeling this isn't working because the keyboard's not doing anything either. It could just be that this processor is not compatible because it's a 500 series board. Although it is stuck on the thing that says boot, so in theory it should be. But we have definitely got 0 output. And no USB lights on the keyboard and mouse. So let's try it in another port. So that's lit up, and that's lit up. So let's try that again. That looks better. Now the keyboard and mouse are lit up. Which means it's doing something. Although, to be fair, I'm using Corsair RAM, which is never the best. No, that's not happening.
There's a face on the back of your head, aren't you?
There is.
There it is.
The face of Bo. Let's try some other RAM, just to be on the safe side. I don't know why I ever buy Corsair RAM. Corsair RAM is horrendous. How on earth they got the name they did in the industry, I will never know. Absolute joke. Although I suppose really, I probably bought the wrong stuff. It was cheap. You live and die by your own mistakes. Let's try it one stick. It's bound to work, it's got RGB. Ow, that hurt.
What motherboard is it again?
Come on, give me a break. Son of a bitch. It is the MSI B550 Pro Wi-Fi VDH. So number lock's working. So it's getting something through there, just nothing on there. And it's, what is the last LED? I can't even see what it says. Blind as a bat. Don't know, the lights are stuck on boot. Right, I know it's not going to be this, but I'm going to rule it out because I've been seeing some weird stuff recently with NVMe drives. Let's turn that off. And try not to drop the M.2 screw. No, too late, dropped it. And let's grab an M.2 drive. PCI Gen 3, that'll be fine. Right, that's kind of in there, that'll do. I'd be hard pressed to think that it wouldn't boot because it didn't have a drive attached, but stranger things have happened. No, we're still stuck on boot, so I do not know what is going on there. I wonder if it's actually in the other. No, I've put that in.
Bob's going to have another beer because of you.
Sorry, Bob. I could do it by myself.
Do you want one?
No.
I keep asking you that and then I don't get it.
Let's turn it off and turn it back on again. Have you tried turning it back on again? Yes, many times. So, CPU, check. VGA, check. Out of range. Out of range. So it's sending a signal out from the motherboard, but it's not actually showing on the screen, which is hella annoying. Right, one more try with a DisplayPort cable. I can't see that being the problem, but I've exhausted many other parts of this and I've made an absolute mess of my desk. And when you get this far in, well, it's kind of shit or bust, isn't it? So DisplayPort in, turn off, take out the old graphics card because that don't have HDMI. DisplayPort only has HDMI. This may turn out to be one of those things where I have to test it on an older B450 board or an old A320. Although saying that, I don't think I've even got a B450 board in the house. First world problems I appreciate.
Matthew Day said compatibility with the B550 issue.
I think compatibility with B550 is quite a likely scenario, if I'm completely honest. Let's reset the CMOS anyway, just to be on the safe side. So turn it off, discharge, BIOS battery out, and short the BIOS. There we go. BIOS battery back in.
And the Brighton allotment, guys, this is your HDMI cable. Mine did the same until I changed the cable.
Let's see what happens now.
They're saying restart monitor, but that wouldn't work because you've tried it on 2.
Yeah. Yeah, stuck on the boot LED, which could mean many things. Normally it means there's not a boot drive in there, which I don't quite get. Let's try input. I think it's set to input select manual, auto rather. Try that, enter. No signal detected. That's definitely connected.
Let's have B550 with a 3000G won't work, I don't think.
It shouldn't, if I'm completely honest, it shouldn't work. That is one of the things which I was a little bit concerned about, because it is really designed. Well, there have been some people that have said they've had 3000Gs, 3200Gs. I've actually got a B520 in the front room, which is running a 2200G, which works fine. So some boards will take it, some won't. It's pretty much luck of the draw. But that is doing absolutely diddly squat. So potentially back to the drawing board, and I might have to buy. I'm gonna have to buy a cheap shit board now to get it working. That is upsetting. Do I try? No. There's nothing else I can try, is there? Reset the CMOS, done that. Let's take.
Why can't you put it in that little in-win?
That is a pain because of it's got to take all the cooler and heatsink out. I might try that. That might be something we could try tomorrow evening. We might have to revisit this tomorrow evening when we've got a bit more time, because otherwise this stream is going to go on for way, way too long. Let's see if that is going to boot now without the drive connected. I don't think it will. No, it is stuck on boot LED. I know, VGA then boot. Input. And set it to auto. Select. Actually, hasn't got, oh shit. It's got a VGA, but have I got a VGA cable? That's really stretching the boundaries of what my brain can cope with. Oh, there is a VGA cable. Again, this is unlikely, exceptionally very unlikely. But I don't want it to be said that I don't try. It did say, I remember at school, on my school report cards, it did always say, bless him, Mike, he is a trier. Thanks for stopping by, dumbass. I think I actually pronounced that right then as well. What's that? Did you say dumbass? Dumbass? What's going on? What is it? What are you laughing at?
It's you.
Why? What did you know? I've got to look at the thing. Dumbass? No, it's not dumbass. Dumbass, not dumbass.
That's what it sounded like.
It's just I'm Bristolian. I've got a speech impediment. You can't take the piss out of a speech impediment. It's against the Geneva Convention or something. I'm sure I read it somewhere. I think I read it on Reddit. Right, last try. Bloody, I knew I should have had my wireless microphone. That's all your fault, Kath. You deliberately hobbled the stream. Things I do for a following, eh? Still, could be worse. I could be Mr. Beast.
I'm giving away headsets.
Giving away headsets and cars and houses. Please be a subscriber. I'll give you a house. Oh, crap. Oh, sod it, that'll do. Right. It can't be a dual channel thing, surely. It can't be. Come on. Boot up, please. Don't make me have to phone CEX. Holy shit, the bed. Can you see that? Can you actually see that on the screen?
No. It's a figment of your imagination.
Where's this other thing?
You can. You can see half the screen, can't you?
Unbelievable. So, it works on VGA.
You're going to phone the sex line.
I am going to phone the sex line and say, you bungling idiots. So, let's recap. Didn't work on HDMI, didn't work on DisplayPort, which are both digital outputs. Works on VGA, which is analog, which technically it shouldn't because B550 is a digital platform rather than analog, even though it's got a VGA port on it. I'm really confused. That is a proper head scratcher. So why did that work? I should know really, because I do have a YouTube channel apparently about technology and stuff like that. But you can understand now why on our Discord chat we do get some people, my PC doesn't work, and you go through all kinds of stuff. And it's not until you, like, that really was the last resort, wasn't it? Going to a VGA cable. That was pushing the boundaries. Most people, I think, would have got to the point previous to that and said, no, I'm not playing this game anymore. It's going back to the shop. Or I'm going onto Mike's Discord and finding out what the hell's going wrong. I'm going to keep Dave Aitken up all night trying to find out what the F is going on with my computer. Oh, dear Lord. So it works. Unbelievable.
Am I on there?
No, you're not, I don't think. No. Thank you, Skystalker, for 20 Canadian dollars and says, what the F? Awesome, Mike, the VGA Whisperer. Hugh says, VGA on motherboard or video card? It's on the motherboard, which is even weirder. It shouldn't work. It shouldn't work. It really shouldn't.
Oh, that box is getting my nerves. Do you want it, Fling?
Alan, the Brighton allotment guy, says, I swear he did. Get that man a drink, Kath. Maybe a different HDMI cable. David Thompson says, phone Carrie. So M.K. says, in 3K, HDMI is primary. Yeah, you'd think so. Very confused. Cosmic Space Muffin has given us 20 Norwegian Corona. Bless you. Thank you, Cosmic. What country am I from? You are from Norway. Is that right, Gav? Yeah.
It's not Netherlands like
it's not the Netherlands. It begins with N. And it's somewhere kind of north of Gloucester. Ugly Bob says, now check the APU settings. M.K says, so the oldest connector in motherboard is a primary. Yeah, that's weird. Hugh says, this is what makes it all fun. It does. It really does. Check APU and update BIOS. I think if I update the BIOS, it is going to be, it might actually break it further, because technically that chip is not supported.
Do you want a spliff?
I need some drugs of some sort, I think. Is that better? Yeah, that'll do.
Angel, if
So,
needs a spliff.
Alan, the Brighton allotment guy, says, do you sell bits for computers? I do. It's difficult, but But yes, I do.
Was it Flamey?
Stuart says now I have a split, yeah. Oh dear. Hugh says I'm running this i3 on a VGA cable. Back to the Future. It is kind of Back to the Future. So that...
What do you want? Ideas?
That has worked. I don't know why that has worked, to be honest with you. It is going to be one of those things. I'm going to have to do some testing now. The CPU temperature, unsurprisingly, is 29 degrees C, which, bearing in mind that that is in the BIOS where there's no power management or anything, it's just basically flat out, that's pretty decent. DDR speed is 26666, which I don't think is going to go any higher than that, but we can certainly try and break it. XMP profile 1, actually let's put profile 2 in. I don't know if there's actually anything in here I can change. Where are we? Advanced, so it's going to be in integrated graphics controller. So integrated graphics controller is IGD. It was set to PEG. So integrated graphics, we can choose force, auto, or disabled. So probably auto might have been better. Frame buffer size we can't change. OC settings, there's not going to be any, really. We might be able to do some of the F-clock bass tuning, but I think it's unrealistic. Let's see if that will actually save and do anything with the BIOS. So, fingers crossed it might actually boot twice. What a lucky boy I would be if that is the case. I don't get why it works on VGA and not HDMI. I've got exactly the same thing happening on the PC in the front room, where, yeah, it's worked and it's gone, I don't know, DDR speed to 60, 60, 66.
Now you change the video settings, reset and try the digital.
Okay.
That was Tony, not me. I'm not that intelligent.
Let's try that. Digical, where's the Digical?
You've got second win now.
Second wind? No, that's just those dodgy things we had for dinner. Pot noodle. Full of wind after that. Where is the HDMI?
Bill's doing now.
Who?
Bill.
Cheers, Bill. Cheers, Arcade. And there's another super chat. Who's that coming from now? Matthew Day, £2. And he's putting money towards... get the open box A320 on Discord. I might have to do that. I genuinely might have to buy an A320 board. Oh, I can't see where the bloody ports are now.
Great, Matthew.
Matthew Day, making my thing not work. You bastard. Thanks, Matthew. Appreciate the £2. And same goes for all of you guys that are helping the channel out with super chats and all that kind of stuff. We genuinely do appreciate it. It's awesome. If it wasn't for the super chats and all that kind of stuff, we would genuinely struggle.
If you...
Go on, Kath, you can do it. Dig deep, is in there.
If you could do a DisplayPort GPU to an HDMI monitor.
Sorry, can I do... Oh, yeah, convert DisplayPort to HDMI.
I think so.
Yeah, the monitor... Christ. That's me falling off the chair, ladies and gentlemen. Right, so that definitely doesn't work. So, for some reason, HDMI will not initialize on that monitor with HDMI. I think VGA is still connected as well, also. No, it's not. So there's something really screwy going on there. I'm pretty sure it's the monitor.
Can't you switch your mic?
Why?
Because you keep tripping over it.
I do. I do.
Just saying.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So that didn't seem to do... Linus drops parts, Mike drops himself, Mike wins. Yeah, it's true. Right, I'm going to unplug the VGA cable in its entirety.
HDMI of the motherboard.
I'm going to turn that off. Yeah, we're in HDMI of the motherboard. I've taken the graphics card out now.
Oh, I'm dropping jelly
So-
beans everywhere.
Can I have a jelly bean?
I'm eating more.
Don't eat all the jelly beans. Now I can drop all these on the floor. What flavour do we get? Oh, I like the cinnamon ones, but I think I've eaten all these already. No, that was a cinnamon one. Oh, that's going to give me a spicy aftertaste. Kath, could you possibly, maybe, in the front room, can you get the ViewSonic monitor off the table, please? I would get it, but you'd have to sit here instead. Let's try another monitor, you never know. That is, if you guys have not got anything better to do, I sure as hell haven't. I kind of have. I thought for a second we were going to get Mike's legs up in the air then. It has happened.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Hi, Glenn. Oh, shit. If it turns out it's these bloody Iyama monitors that are causing all my grief, they are going to get smashed up in the back garden in a stream.
Like our sunbed.
Yeah. Damn sunbed giving me cancer. Has that got HDMI? Yes, it has. Why don't that fit in there?
Oh, not going to fit now.
Oh, son of a... Oh, come on, guys. You can't do a super challenge trying to plug shit in. It's fun making Kath get up and do it. I get you. I'm totally with you on that one. But when I'm trying to plug stuff in the dark, it ain't fun. Just to see you struggle, still like you though, lol. Thanks, Cosmic. Alessa says I have nothing better to do. I know the feeling. Right, let's see, why does that not fit in there? That is a HDMI. How can that possibly not fit into a bloody HDMI port? Are you shitting me right now?
Do you have that little thing as a kid where you had to put shapes through holes?
Not that I can recall. Right, why does that not fit? That's just ridiculous. Let's see if the other end fits. Oh God. It's all going wrong, people. Right, that barely fits in as well. Why does... This is actually really starting to chafe my ass now. Right, stay in there, you bastard. Let's try and stand up and not break stuff. Why would an HDMI cable not fit? It's like there's a bit of plastic stuck in it or something. I blame George. Sorry?
Do you know where I put my finger?
Well, that's kind of in. And it bloody works. It's that bastard Iyama monitor. Son of a bitch.
I keep trying that shitty box.
Cosmic Space Muffin is never 20 kronas. The struggle is real. It is. Ugly Bob says, never see this carry on with Click Tech Kev. This is true. If it's that's that bastard monitor all this time. That's given me all kinds of grief on various streams.
And you put it down to your own inability.
I thought it was just down to me being an absolute reject of science. But apparently no, it isn't me. It's down to the thing. You know, the thing. Sorry, that was my Biden impression. I do apologise.
Can that monitor show what the scan is?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't even
Why
know.
don't you move that other monitor before you knock it off?
What's that button do? What does that button do? Oh no, that's... Oh. No. It can't see it. I'm going to treat myself to another jelly baby right now.
Beans.
No idea. Oh, lemon. Hmm.
Does that monitor have all ports?
Clegtech says, oi, Kev's probably playing Rust right now. Let me know, guys, in the chat, because I can't see my PC. Does it say on Discord that Kev is playing Rust? I'd put money on it.
Yeah.
He is as well. He's got a slight addiction there. So, Matthew today says, can the monitor show what the scan is? It probably can, but I can't find the settings, if I'm completely honest. And it worked with another monitor, yeah, that's right. It's very easy. Does that monitor have all ports? VGA, DVI, HDMI? Doesn't have display port. Sorry, wrong camera. It doesn't have the display port. It has everything else, but not display port, sadly. Just call in the doctor, Dr. Jelly Baby. In Europe, it's 12 AM. Yeah, it's coming up for 11 here. James says, first monitor probably needed you to hit its auto configure button. It does it, it's done it all the time. I've always had problems with these Iliama monitors. I don't know why it is. When I've had it set up on this one in front of me, I've done it on streams before, I've built a system, and it's saying out of range. And even if you do the auto configuration thing, it doesn't seem to want to do it. I don't understand why. Hugh says, it sounds funny joking Biden in England. We joke about, wrong camera, we joke about everybody. We've got a whole range of politicians to joke about. We've got Bojo, we've got, who's the medical guy? Matt Wancock, we've got Jean-Claude Van Damme, all them. There's a whole host of people we can take the piss out of over here. But it's nice to spread the love around all the countries. Ricardo says, oh, thank you, Mike. Yeah, sorry, I answered your question yet.
Dominic Cummings, I reckon he did that on your bloody...
Dr. Hex, new boss should be fine. Yeah, Dominic Cummings.
He's done that.
That's who got my processor. Yeah.
Ranked.
Swine. What brand is it that you cause your problem? Iliama. Iliama monitors used to be in the UK, well, pretty much in the industry, Iliama monitors used to be the cream of the crop, which is why when they came up quite cheaply, it's like, yeah, I'm going to have me some Iliama monitors.
Have me over by giving me that earlier in the week.
It's a good monitor. Actually, display-wise, it's really nice. It looks really nice, but this monitor is... I bought that second-hand ages ago. Ugly Bob says yes. Is Wildlife Snapper says I have to peace off. Stay well all. Cheers, Wildlife. Catch you later. See you in the Discord. James says that brand's never seen around here. Yeah, Iliama used to be... I don't know whether they're predominantly European. I'm pretty sure they were quite big in the UK a while back.
They're awful. Somebody's they were tonight.
Yeah. Laurie says get the 3070 going in there. Sadly, the 3070 is gone back. Unfortunately, my ploy didn't work out. My mate Vincent, who was working at Zotac, he actually switched jobs on the last Friday, and he sent an email out. So I deliberately sent the email on Monday to the new guy who's taken over, hoping and praying that he would turn around and say, "That's all right, just keep it." But
obviously not.
Yeah, obviously he had other plans, and yeah, maybe he didn't like the video enough to warrant me keeping what is now roughly getting on for like an 800 quid graphics card. That's okay. It's okay. So I'm gonna have to. I might have to buy some monitors. That's pretty upsetting. In fact, that's very upsetting. Bastards! Who can I offload these monitors to?
Ugly Bob, buy them off you.
Oh, I know. I got just the person. I'll sell them to work. Upgrades. I'll chuck in a monitor mount as well, so you can have two crap screens next to each other. James Massilia says 50k YouTubers don't do B450. No, we keep on going until our B550s actually work. I don't know what George has done to the screen on this thing. He's set up some weird stuff. It looks absolutely horrendous. I don't even know how to reset this. It's got the most horrible menu in the world.
Was it George's?
Yeah, it was just, uh-oh, I've moved something, it stopped working.
Probably unplugged that wire that don't fit in.
Oh. There we go. Yeah, that was a bit loose. I swear he's broken that port. I'm gonna have to, that's 3 monitors I gotta get rid of now. If anybody wants 3 24-inch monitors,
Bob's saying me,
call me.
me.
Ugly Bob, me. Bob, they're yours. We'll sort some out.
We're taking RGB.
I don't get it. I really don't get it, because those monitors, the Iliam ones, when it's actually there and the system's working, it's fine, but it just seems to every now and then just do those weird things where it just refuses to boot.
Until you turn the camera off.
Yeah. Actually, Tony makes a good point there. Once you've got Windows installed and the drivers, it might work on the other monitor. It probably will. As soon as Windows is installed, generally, on all the systems I've done, after they've been installed Windows, they work fine. You don't always get into the BIOS, but generally they're absolutely fine.
It might just because the camera's off.
Yeah.
What refresh rate are they?
75 Hertz. They're not. I don't think they're FreeSync. They might be. They might be FreeSync, but they're definitely 75 Hertz. Because that's why I went for them other than the 60 Hertz, because they are slightly better. Yeah, 24-inch, blue light reduction, flicker-free LED, ooh, full HD, VGA, DisplayPort and HDMI. Some of them might work sometimes.
Power saving.
Built-in speakers as well.
Power saving, so don't worry.
Yeah, they save energy.
You've got it right at the end.
Jesus Christ.
You're so crude.
I gotta stop wearing this mic. Right, it has come up towards 11 o'clock now. Tony needs a monitor as well. With, I need a 20, oh, not, with that's not a monitor. Oh, that's a shame. Anyway, yeah, I think we've come to the logical conclusion that the processor does work. We probably need to do some more in-depth testing to see if it actually maintains the rigors of gaming under the mighty Vega 3 graphics, but that is definitely going to be a story for another bedtime. So I think I'm going to leave it to say thank you all for watching. Hopefully you've had a relatively enjoyable experience this evening with myself and Kath. Thanks so much for all the super chats and all that kind of stuff. Don't forget, on your way out, please, 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 due to YouTube's algorithm, please leave a comment on the video. And obviously, if you feel you've liked it and it deserves one of those, then stick one of those on. And we really do appreciate that. I think that is pretty much it. Daniel Lopez, I think I've done that already. The Master Liquid ML240L, I think. Maybe not. Anyway, we'll take a look. Obviously, if you want to speak to us outside of YouTube, etc., then we've got a Discord. You're more than welcome to join and have a chat. We'll be on there most of the time. Other than that, I think that wraps this one up. I'll be Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. And hopefully catch Kev if he's not playing Rust.
Giveaway's done.
Yep, the giveaway's done. The results are in the Discord. Winners were, if you're right at the very end, were Welsh Tony and Outlaw Fett. Is that right? Yes. Yeah. I can't believe I remember something. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.